Yes, we talk quite a bit about, idea about it and how we see the bigger picture. But, I have some questions for you because lots of people ask you these questions anyway. So I think it's time to reveal this HR secrets. So can you describe like how to interview people if you're interested in building diverse teams? So,
Well, one thing is that quite in the beginning of the process, I tend to leave the candidates with our team. My favorite is the designer room because they are quite talkative. Our candidates get to play a little of our games and kind of a real feel of the situation.
Yeah.
So that also kind of shows people that what they are meddling with.
Yeah.
And the interview, we have set of questions, but they are more like discussions.
Not just get like yes and no answers, but when I kind of get more into having a dialogue.
How,
yes.
What do you think about it? It's very hard for many people to tell about some occasions where they have, especially talking about failures.
Yes. And I remember we had cases that like you kind of get to learn some cultural things as well, but some people just don't want to talk about anything personal because they don't find it professional. So even if you're trying to have a more open conversation, they're holding the guard.
Yes.
And it's a skill then from our side that we kind of have to accept this, but still see through the person.
Yes. Usually I also have an one-on-one with the candidates, but it's good to have an interview also with some members of the team because we have different kind of people, so that then we also can observe how people react to cultures.
I know that quite a few times it happened that when a candidate would walk through the office and then they would say, this doesn't look like average gaming studio. I was like, good, step one. Yes. We already talked about it a little bit earlier, but what would you say from your perspective, what are the main pointers when you're writing the job ad? Because I think that's also one of the really important things. And I know that you went through a couple of iterations and how we do that.
Concentrate on essential skills and concentrate on the skill level that is adamant and not like a PhD and 15 years of experience.
My favorite 15 years of experience and free to play. Really? What? You worked in Facebook in 2006? There are like 3 candidates in the world who have that experience.
And share the values in the job ad too. And also the language is important. Be careful with pronouns.
Yeah, that's one of the things as well, that if you're using pronouns, use all 3 of them.
Yes.
Because it also, if you use them, it just shows like, we see you as a non-binary person. We recognize you as well, and you are welcome here. So it's just the small things can actually make a big difference in a job, right? And then I think it's how do we make new team members feel welcome?
Well, first we try to be here on their first day when they come to office. We have the buddy system.
You have the buddy system.
Yes. Important to have the onboarding kind of checklist so that everything is ready when a person comes. And we have a list of pronoun allergies. I also think it's very good that we have on the list possible conditions that might affect your work. Mental health. It's very important to know if you have like panic attacks.
Exactly.
So that your colleagues might know what is going on.
I think that there's like some things that we do well. It's also that we actually have the manual Welcome to Work where we kind of describe ways of working. So, which is a living, growing document which kind of tells you, okay, these are the rules of engagement. This is how this company works. And I think we tried at least that one of us in leadership has time for the newcomer in the first couple of days to have one-on-one kind of to make them feel welcome. Well, I try not to swear. At least I warned them. I warned them. I was like, I might swear, sorry. But I'm not really sorry, but I was fair.
But usually you tell that.
But I think this is also something that, as we grow, we are learning as well. From every new employee, we learn, okay, what we didn't do right. It kind of adds to the list to get better and better. We learn a little bit from our partners, these games as well, some of their practices. And then, there's a question, I think, for you, but might be for me and for other people. So, how do we keep the team motivated?
Well, people are generally quite motivated.
One of the things that at least I do from my position, I try to be as transparent as possible. So this is demotivating, but at least people will know that there is this honesty, there's no secret, and I think they kind of build this kind of trust as well. But we have like, at least, holiday system is a little bit different.
We only count work days, like weekdays. We don't count Saturdays, so it leaves about 5 days or a week more time than any other companies. So also our remote day rule, usually we have 2 days, or like 50% of working time can be worked remotely.
And I think in general, from kind of strategy leadership point of view, I think it's worth to mention that we always try to hear people out. If they don't feel motivated, or if they have some problem, they find a solution. I mean, that's how we got to the hiring a nanny, because we had 2 people who have small children, and they were both considering leaving the company for some time. And I was like, hey, why don't we hire a nanny? I think that we are trying to do our best, and of course we have small things, like we had cupcakes in the office, we had like a couple of parties as well. Try to do it where everybody's accommodated, that of course we have some alcohol, but we also have exciting non-alcoholic drinks.
Actually, that is very important, because in game industry people drink a lot, and we have several people that don't use alcohol at all.
And also when we do the kind of events outside of the office, we try to do something that everybody can participate. Like we don't do anything which is extreme sports, or doing things that will put people in a very uncomfortable position. Like we went to Suomenlinna. But I think that we're trying the best we can. But in general, I think most of the employees here have a really good morale, and most of the people take this basically as a second home.
And us as a family.
Yes. Some last things that we might want to share with people. What else we can think of that would be
care
useful
for your people as people.
And have this like holistic approach to employee. They're not just a number. They're not just a problem or solution. They're humans, and they'll go through phases. The better you take care of them, and the more effort you make to understand them, they're gonna perform better. Again, talking like an evil business person, but it's just common sense that it's always cheaper, like talking business wise, and it's always more efficient to take care of the existing employee than going through the hiring process again.
That's expensive and that's difficult, especially in game industry.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I would say that people are human. We are human. Nobody is on 100% all the time. We all experience life. We all experience different challenges in life. And as the employer, if you can help your employees to go through these challenges smoothly. I mean, and we had it a couple of times we helped people. For us, it was actually even relatively small effort, but it meant a world to our employee, and we saved them so much stress and effort and like work outside of the office. And why wouldn't you do this?
Yes, like helping with Kela
stuff
or Vero stuff.
Exactly. Okay, we are a relatively small company. We have a little bit over 20 people. It might become harder if you have a company of 300 people, but I think it's still important to understand the importance of it. That when people experience problems, be there for them.
Yes, there is always someone you can talk to and about how to change the situation. And also our people, like everyone has like partners, families, pets, kids. That is also important to take into consideration, because if someone's spouse is not happy, that person is not happy.
Exactly. Just being human as well. For example, it's a no-brainer if you have a sick child that you're of course going to stay at home. I mean, like, because what kind of quality of work I can expect from a person if your child is sick?
Yes.
But it's the same for your pet. If your pet is sick, it's like a part of your family. It's better like be compassionate and allow them to take care for their family, whatever that family looks like.
Yes.
And be there to support them. And I hear horror stories from other employers where they had like zero sympathy for the partners being like sick or going through hard times. For us, we're gonna lose effective work for a couple of days, but we are gonna gain employee who is gonna be loyal and faithful and happy to work here, who's been much more efficient. And if you don't allow for things like this, you're going to get somebody who's going to be disgruntled and unhappy. And unhappy people don't do a good job.
No, yes.
So these are some of the tips, like for other employers, that it does pay off to be compassionate and actually understanding and help people as well. Yeah. If you embrace diversity, even if people have a different way of living than you, even if they're different, you have to be able to put yourself in their shoes. And this is something as well that, you know, this level of respect for everybody is so important. So important. And even if you catch yourself thinking differently, correct your way of thinking, because we're all here to learn. But yeah, so thank you, Raisa, for doing this together with me today. I hope everybody found this at least somewhat useful or entertaining. I think there will be some links to follow us on social media there somewhere. Follow us if you want to know more what we're doing, what games we're making. Yeah, if you have any comments or questions for Raisa or me, you can put them below. And we'll do our best to answer them. And yeah, thank you all very much. Until next podcast, when we're going to talk about something completely different. Thanks, everybody. Bye.